Again, I still don't know if there's a difference between Neo Isles of Siren and regular Isles of Siren. I'm still not... I don't know if there's a difference. I haven't noticed if there is one. But here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Isles of Siren, we do have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss. Representing among SC2 people, it is ReBellioN. 40-minute game incoming. It's very possible, Pappy. It's very possible. In the bottom right, we have the cow. MilkiCow. I'll fix up the in-game names. There we go. ReBellioN versus MilkiCow TVP island map. Welcome one and all to Neo Isles of Siren. For those who have never seen this map before, this is an island map. We have top right, top left, bottom left, and bottom right as well. We have 4 possible spawn locations, and we have 4 separate islands with a 5th island in the center. On each island, there are 4 bases. You have your main base, you have your natural, you have your 3rd, and you have a 4th base as well. So you have 4 bases available to you, and you can see here that what separates all these islands are these very thin rivers. Very, very thin. Because these rivers are so thin, you can blink. You can blink from one side to the other. You can warp in. If you have a pylon on one end, you can warp into the other side. Tanks can affect fights, as tank lines and tank siege lines can actually shoot from one side to the other as well. Brood Lords, Guardians, like there are different ways to make use of this just because of how thin that area is. Likewise, when it comes to island maps, Skytoss obviously is going to be a big factor, but I will say that SC2 Protoss has a lot of options because of the recall ability. Because of how recall works, you can build up a ground-based army. You can build up a ground-based army, rush into a mothership, and then bam, recall into your opponent. Or not just that, but also with a war prism, right? With a war prism, if you can get a prism across the map, you can warp in and reinforce. You can blink as well. Like there is a lot of builds. You don't have to go into Skytoss. You can go into Mass Blink Stalker. You can rush into mothership with a ground-based army. ReBellioN, he has options. We'll see what he goes for. From the side of Terran, SC2 Terran has drop play available with Medivacs, but Broodlord Terran is very different in that respect, as we are rushing into the Academy. Huh. Okay. Racks into Academy, interesting. This might just be for an early consultation to scan. It might just be for scan purposes to figure out where ReBellioN is. Yeah. Let's go, as we are going to mech. Okay, we're going to mech. With the help of the early academy, again, it does lead into early comsat stations. Once we get the armory up and running, we can go into Goliath, but mech will be amassing. And meanwhile, Stargate open out of ReBellioN. We're getting into our openers, getting into our builds. Yeah. There's the scan. Scan's bottom left. And now he knows his opponent is top right. As here comes the Overlord Scouts, or the Racks. Racks is floating in. They're floating on in. Goliath production has begun, as there is that armory. So rushing into Goliath, which will pop out just in time to defend against the Oracle, at least in the main. At least in the main base. As the scan gets highest on Skytoss. Void Ray production has begun. I say Skytoss, we haven't seen a second Stargate yet. So, and we're getting into Warp Gate, true. Warp Gate is on the way. We'll see where ReBellioN takes us. Let's go. And this is not going to be Sky Toss. We're going into double forge, double upgrades, going into a ground-based composition. So we mentioned before that there is a build where you can go into a ground-based army, then go for a mothership, and then recall to your opponent's base. It feels like that is the plan here for ReBellioN. Feels like that should be the plan. Meanwhile, Mass Goliath, MilkiCow, with all these Goliaths, he's going to be ready here for Sky Toss. But again, that's not really happening. That's not coming his way. So I'm a little bit concerned with MilkiCow. Investing into Valkyries. There's a scan. Big scan actually does confirm both forges, the gateway explosion, the robo as well. He knows. Now he's aware there's going to be a ground-based composition instead. And MilkiCow, he has to prepare for that. We have to stop the Goliaths. Fleet beacons on the way. As we mentioned, this should just be for the mothership. And this should just be for the recall. Scan reveals more gateways. And tank production has begun. Oh, he has to rebuild his racks, as he cannot make more factories. So racks is being rebuilt. Technically, there's a world where maybe MilkiCow, if he's in position, he can deny the mothership and snipe it before the recall goes off. Maybe. Otherwise, I am worried for MilkiCow. As here comes that mothership. Now, the ground army isn't quite there yet for ReBellioN, but he should soon be focusing on purely army production. And again, MilkiCow, he's seen enough to know what's happening. Even if he hasn't played against this before, he should know. So tanks are on the way. Again, he does have siege mode. He's building up his tanks. Is it too late though? Like, has he invested too heavily into Goliath? ReBellioN going for the center expansion. Double expanding even. Again, we need more Stalkers. We need more Zealots. Charge has not been researched. It does feel like the mothership is too early. Like, it feels like, especially, I mean, I guess we're going to use it defensively. I guess the plan here is that now we have an extra recall. But MilkiCow, he's stuck with his side of the map. Like, he has no way to get out. Just now getting his first dropship. Another scan. Double robo on the way. ReBellioN refining his army, getting to that ideal anti-mech based composition. Ooh, there was a chrono boost. No recall. Yeah, big misstep there from ReBellioN. Tanks do siege, and there's no recall available. Stalkers, you can try to respond. Now, a scary thing here, actually, MilkiCow is sending a lot of his supply out on the map. A lot of it is moving out to this island, which means MilkiCow, he has that much less to defend back at home. So here comes the mothership. ReBellioN is going for the kill move. He's going for the kill move. This island doesn't matter. And again, that's a lot of supply not at home to defend. He scans, sees another base. Here comes the recall. And remember, ReBellioN, he can always recall back home if he needs to. He can always recall back home. There it is. Busts into the main, going for the production. MilkiCow is racing back home. A bit of an early cloak. Yeah, a little bit premature there from ReBellioN. A little bit premature. That is a lot of tanks. Where are the charge loads? Yeah, no charge lots. Recalls back home. A messy fight here by ReBellioN. And that was not really quite worth it. Does get some SCVs. Does get 14 SCV kills. But again, there was no War Prism, so there was no way to reinforce. So no War Prism, no reinforcements, no charge. Without Zelts, there's no easy way to engage with the tanks. So messy execution out of ReBellioN. And with that, MilkiCow is moving out. Does move out. Recalls on cooldown. This base will fall. ReBellioN is racing over. He's trying to. Yeah, this base goes down. ReBellioN going for a ninja base. Let's go. And now we're going for the backstab. Now we have the prism. I mean, the prism was always there. It just wasn't a part of the fight. It wasn't a part of the main army. Going for some run-bys. Doesn't find too much damage. Zelts are on A move, so they're just attacking the CC. Now getting into the mineral line. Get in, they do get a decent amount of worker kills. The mothership is setting in for another recall. Recalling towards the main army. Okay. That means he wouldn't have a recall into the opposing base, or into the opposing island. So that was a wasted recall, as again his army was just in the main, so he could have just rotated. So wasted recall does clean up the army, but it also means he cannot hop to another island. So he's stuck on his main line. He's stuck on his main island. Stalkers, they rotate. Technically, these Blink Stalkers can actually hit this mineral line. They can blink in. But not quite going for it. Nice Goliath drop. Goliath drop in. Ooh, diving on the tanks. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is not the way to go for, as every Stalker's going to go down. Does not respect the tank line, doesn't respect the Goliaths either. So better fight for MilkiCow. ReBellioN is hurting. What's going on? Remember, recall's on cooldown. This mothership cannot recall. Now it's going up. Now we get the recall. Does recall in time. Okay. Barely in time. That was close. Tanks are sieging up. SCVs are going down. Can we get on top of the tanks? It looks like we cannot. Tries to blink in. Stalkers, they get punished. And MilkiCow, he will take this fight. He will clean up all the Stalkers. Takes down the Stalkers. Takes down the main army. Archon Zelts go down. Yeah, messy fight here from ReBellioN. Does recall. Now ReBellioN does get some SCVs. Does get some workers. Nice Zealot warp in. Takes down the CC. Ooh, but he doesn't deny them. Yeah, doesn't deny these CCs. We have the mass scans looking for the bases. ReBellioN does have some mining going on. Still very back and forth. So very back and forth here. As ReBellioN thankfully still has a fourth base up running, has that ninja base, the ninja expansion. And he has a little rebuilding to do. He's building up his immortals again. He's got the mothership on the way. Stalkers, some of them do get out. Does pull out, does make it back home. And he has how many immortals? 11. Jesus, 11 immortals here for ReBellioN. That's going to be the ideal against a mech-based army. Depending on the setup. Again, these recalls into expansions have been lackluster for ReBellioN. But hey, it does find some tanks. Here we go. Someone needs to make a mod so the matchmakings work on this. If you're referring to the ladder, we've spoken about this before, but there is a ladder in the works for StarCraft Evolution. That is a thing. Stalkers are going down. The ladder is something that's being actively worked on. Ladder that makes you play against same skill level. I mean, the ladder is going to have MMR, so yes, that is obviously that's going to come hand in hand. As they'll say, do warp in, they get on top of the tanks. Clutch warp in. Yeah, very clutch out of ReBellioN. Cashing out all the tanks, and he's going to keep going. Keep going in. Four SCVs going down. We get some decent damage. ReBellioN trades well. MilkiCow, he does have a fresh mining base, though. Takes the center expansion. And he kind of sees. MilkiCow, he scans, he sees cannons. That's a tell. That's a tell that there should be bases here. As ReBellioN has been freely mining this entire time. Another mothership's on the way. Oh. ReBellioN moving in. Does get a full dropship. But gets two. Two dropships go down. Do you see what I see? I see the mothership, and it should be queued into the main island. Okay, we're getting ready for that massive mortal recall. The mothership is good. Here we go. The mothership is rallied. So, because they, oh god, they get under the Valkyries. Oh no! Getting caught out by some of the spider mines. Mothership's moving in. Where's that recall? Where are we headed? Oh, is he going for the center base? Oh, okay. Going for the center expansion. There's a recall. Comes in from behind. And he will break this position. As we do land one storm. A couple of storms do land, and mortals they make their way through. And that will clean up every single tank. Every tank goes down, 27 SCVs. The problem here, oh god, as we have some miscontrol. The army's left idle. The problem here is that we don't have a recall to go into the main island. So this base is denied, that is true. MilkiCow, he is safe. Until the next recall. Until the next mothership. The tanks, sorry, the immortals are on their own. Every immortal's going to go down. ReBellioN catching reinforcements. He's on the island. He's on the main island. Does try to reinforce as well. Catching out the production, not bad. It's a tank, it gets a Goliath. Picks up a dropship. Oh, and the Goliaths are trickling in. Yeah, they're running past, actually. The move command. They're running past. Yeah, messy defense out of MilkiCow, losing so much supply here. So a lot of supply being thrown away. Finally, this army's going to be cleaned up.
Base is under attack.
Oh, as MilkiCow is expanding on one of ReBellion's islands. Oh no. Incoming 4-hour game 5. I mean, maybe. I mean, the problem here is that I say the problem. It's been very low eco. It's been very low supply as well. Like, because of all the trades that have been happening, like, no one's been able to max out. It's been very chaotic. Very chaotic. As MilkiCow double expands. Archon's moving in. They should be able to tank. And they will. Yeah, the army's going to be cleaned up. This base will go down. Nice cleanup. Again, MilkiCow, it looks like he's just not fully aware. Or wasn't aware of the bases. Of the recall potential. MilkiCow does drop in. Taking up her space. Unfortunately, just hasn't been able to do anything about bottom left, center left. Hasn't touched these bases. Mothership's on the way, and once again, we're just waiting for the mothership to be able to recall onto an island. Nice storm drop. But again, ReBellioN is so heavily reliant on his recalls to actually get onto the islands and traverse across the map. So there are these big lull periods as we're waiting for the mothership. But MilkiCow, he's mining out. Main base is mined out. It's natural as well. His third base down to 2 patches. Eventually, MilkiCow, he will run out of money. He needs that center base. He needs that expansion. Mothership is out. Show us the recall. Where we headed? Now, ReBellioN, he has a choice to make. Does he dive onto the main mining base of MilkiCow, or does he try to dive into the main army, straight into the main base, and go for the production? What's the plan? Looks like we're going for the production. There we go, mothership into the main. MilkiCow, he does race over to respond. There's that recall. And does MilkiCow have enough? Where are the immortals? Oh, no immortals here, going for a charge lots. Diving on in. There's no prism either, so there's no reinforcements. Zealous trade very well, though. They take down every single tank. Yeah, tanks, they go down. Army dives in. And ReBellioN, he has control of the main base. He has control of the production, and this is his way to end the game. Carriers, they fly over. Stalkers, they can blink over into the main island as well. So we have carriers from the top side, Stalkers on the left, and the recall into the main. And MilkiCow is just being pulled apart. Another dropships! No! Gets one! It's one full drop, gets two! Yeah, two dropships go down. GG gets called, and ReBellioN with a tri-pronged attack pulls MilkiCow apart, and ReBellioN takes the game. GG. GG, well played. With that, ReBellioN does take the game, does take down MilkiCow. Very intense back and forth, a lot of engagements. Again, in general here, SC2 races are just so much more mobile, and as you saw, there were multiple ways for ReBellioN to try to be active on the map and try to go for aggression. We had Blink, of course, we had Warp-ins, we had the Sky Toss, we had the non-stop recalls. Recalls are crucial when it comes to mobility here for SC2 Protoss. Constantly recalling into bases or recalling away from bases, recalling to defend bases. There was just a lot going on there, and ReBellioN was just all over MilkiCow. Unfortunately, MilkiCow, he had a bit of a misread early on, so he was stuck with Mass Goliath. He tried to switch into a ground-based composition, but again, Brood War Terran is just so much more immobile. They do have that disadvantage coming into these island maps. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to ReBellioN as he does take it, and with that, we are wrapping up. Let's go. I was about to ask if this is remotely balanced between the StarCraft 1 and versus SC2 races. SC2 has so many more tools. I would say it is balanced. I mean, if you were watching earlier, we just saw, I think, a good example of that is ZVZ. I would say that Brood War Zerg have a lot more tools in late game ZVZ, with Queens, with Defilers, with Guardians, with Devourers, with Plague back with all the Plagues. Like I think most would probably agree that it is in favor of Brood War Zerg there, but the races just work very differently. And obviously, the balanced team is very active when it comes to trying their best to make sure that the game is as balanced as possible. And there are definitely certain advantages and disadvantages, but there are other ways to make up for that. On the one hand, I would say that yes, SC2 races are more mobile. On the other hand, in general, Brood War races are a little bit stronger when it comes to their spellcasters. Like the spellcasters for Brood War are crazy. When it comes to Lockdown, when it comes to Storm, the Brood War Storm is insane. When it comes to Plague, when it comes to just spells in general. Units as well are also a little bit stronger just because of the lack of mobility, referring to Dragoons, referring to Brood War Mech, for example, as well. So there's a bit of a give and take. I think it's best to just think of them as different races entirely. And yes, they can be more immobile, but that's a part of the race itself. And it makes up for it in other ways. Does make up for it in other ways. There are definitely aspects currently of the meta that are a little bit imbalanced, which I'm sure they're aware of. I think one of the examples of that is PvP. Right now, PvP is in a really weird place where there's a lot of cheese and a lot of proxy, and I don't know if that's what is intended. So I do know that PvP has some issues. ZVZ also has some issues as well. When it comes to those two matchups, I think they're probably quite happy with TVP. I think TVP is probably in a good place. TvT as well. I think TvT is probably the best like balanced mirror matchup currently, Terran versus Terran. I think that's probably in a good place that they're quite fond of. But some of the other matchups, like they're definitely like tweaks that you can go for, and the game is patched on like a weekly basis. Like almost every week, or at least a couple of times a month, there are patches that are implemented to SE Evolution. So it is actively being worked on. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We do appreciate it. We are going to be wrapping up here for the morning. As that was a lot. Oh god. So despite the fact that we only casted 7 best of ones, I think almost everyone went to the late game. Almost everyone. Intense, Pappy, intense. With that, GG, well played. Thank you so much for all the submitted replays as well, from the Walk, from HyperONE, from Ragnar as well. Do appreciate it. Again, for those that are curious, this was a viewer replay stream, so replays submitted by viewers. You can do so via the chat with a point redemption. 10,000 channel points will allow you to redeem a replay, and I will get around, once I accumulate enough of them, I will get around to having a replay stream or a replay cast. Meanwhile, a big shout out to Katsansky. Thank you so much, Katsansky, for the 5 gifts and subs to the community. Thank you so much to Dead Cell, to Alexandressa, to Boomer, to Dathus, and to My Mom Is Alive. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. We appreciate the support. as I am very fatigued after after that cast. There were so many hour-long games. No. Get me out of here, baby. Get me out of here. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm going to go get some breakfast. It is almost 2 p.m. It's almost 2 p.m. here. I'm going to go get some breakfast. Going to go get some food. Time for lunch, baby. Time for breakfast. Time for breakfast. I was actually quite tempted to ladder. I was quite tempted to stream and ladder, but I am so fatigued. I'm so drained after after all of that. I'm going to get some food. I'm going to get some rest. I might stream a little bit later on. That's a big maybe. As a reminder as well, when it comes to the rest of our schedule, we can catch up. We can catch up with the rest of our schedule here. We just wrapped up with our Tuesday morning cast. We do not have a cast this evening, which is why I'm a little bit free to stream. Tomorrow morning, likewise, we're going to be skipping Pegasus Cup. Pegasus Cup is Wednesday mornings. I won't be able to cast it this week, unfortunately. We might do like a catch-up replay cast, maybe for Pegasus Cup. But the reason for that is that I do have some 2 pet bunnies. I have some pet bunnies, and we're going to the vets. We're going to the vet tomorrow, as we have to look after them. We have to look after them. So that is what's going to be happening tomorrow. So otherwise, I am preoccupied. I will be busy. And of course, later on tonight, I might decide to stream. Otherwise, I'm just going to be focusing on catching up with VODs and catching up with editing all the VODs for YouTube, as YouTube is the place to be for all that VOD content. I got a lot of catching up to do. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. And stick around. Because we're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live? Who is live at the moment? Who can we send everyone over to? What is happening? Let's see. I see Chris is live. I see Pacheco's live. Nathanius is live. I feel like Nathanius is usually asleep at this time. We have Cosmito also live as well. We'll find someone. Shelby is live. Shelby. But with that, we're going to be wrapping up. For the time being. I'm going to go get some food. Hi. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for Maestros of the Game. That's going to be our next cast. Again, we're going to be skipping the evening broadcast tonight and the morning broadcast tomorrow. And you can see here at 7 p.m. KST Wednesday evening, we're going to be live with Maestros of the Game. That is going to be a replay cast of Group B, because we did miss one group of Maestros of the Game. So I do apologize for that. We did miss one of the groups. So we're going to be catching up on Wednesday. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft. See you then, papi. See you then.